I managed to find a new pair of my favorite bells. These ones are Tibetan bells, but they're very different. I don't know if you can see some of the ancient text in there. I've been reading stuff on the power of letters. That where letters, these are ancient Tibetan symbols, where letters hold power on their own. We know the power of like religious texts. It's not just it's not what's being said, but it's the letters that are being used, and the letters have power in them, which is really interesting. So I want you guys to be able to notice the difference between these tincture bells and the ones that you guys are used to having. So the other one is the dragon, and it resonates at the heart chakra. This one is to do with abundance, and it resonates at the heart chakra as well. So I want to know if you guys can pick up any subtle differences. So we're going to do that in a moment. Oh, we can do one now, so you can hear what it sounds like now that I've said what it is. So listen to what it sounds like. Does it sound any different to the ones that you used to? Intense. Yeah. Shane's your wife there? Is Shayla there? Oh, okay. Because I met Shayla and oh, you're driving. Oh, I shouldn't be driving. Listening to the bell, because I met Shayla and she said she just bursts into tears when she hears the bell. I said, "Wow, I didn't know it would have such a big impact on you." So yeah, don't cry while you're driving, Shane. Cool. It has a thick sound. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Priyakshi's always has these wonderful descriptions. So this week the topic is on emotional resilience and how to develop emotional resilience. What I wanted to do is, last week we spoke about communication, and Denise, you contributed a lot regarding your daughter as well about communication and the importance of understanding what's being said and how it's being said. So I want to talk a little bit more about communication, but then I want us to do a silent breathing exercise to just settle down the noise all around us and inside of us, and then talk about emotional resilience and what that means, what it means to be in a state of being, no matter what's going on outside, that you inside, internally, you maintain a certain state. What is the ideal emotional state that one should have? Anissa, welcome. Miriam, welcome. Amna, welcome. Good to see you guys. Anissa, new hairstyle? Oh, okay, cool. Looking good. Anissa's our regular. Hello. And she's a coach. I'm well. How are you, more importantly? Yeah. That's all right. You're going to have to give us 10 push-ups now that you're late, So. Oh, okay, good. So what is the ideal, welcome, what's the ideal state that we want to be in? Is it be happy, be content, be at peace, be still, be ecstatic, blissful, joyful? What state do you want? What's the ideal state? Write down some things that you want to achieve. What state is the ideal state of being? Write it in the comments, whatever state you think is the state that you want to be in all the time, or some of the time, or any of the time. Just type it in. Happy and blissful, flow. Okay. Anyone else? Type it in. Contentment. Oh, that's a good question. I don't even know. I'm just seeing them coming. Peaceful and content with whatever. You can tell me, Denise. You got your microphone on. Tell me what you think. What? Go ahead. Peaceful? Denise, we can't hear you. Or is it me? It's on and off. It's intermittent, your sound. Present, content, peaceful, still, okay. Peace and contentment, Shayla. Okay, Shayla, that's good. What about you, Shay? Why are you quoting Shayla? What about you? Don't you have an opinion as well? So all right. So peace and contentment is something that we all want. What does it mean to be at peace? To be at peace means that we're not at war, right? Because many of the times the client or the person discloses their current state in them describing the state that they want. So if you want to be peaceful, then how are you feeling right now? Is the question, right? So what's the opposite of peace? There's war and peace. There's unsettling. What's the opposite word? What word would describe the opposite of peace? Anyone? Just type it in. What's the chaos? Okay, yeah. Chaos or turmoil? Wow, you guys said the same word. The sisters on the group resonating at the same frequency. Lizanne and Anissa. Anxiety, anxious. Yeah, okay. Angry, okay. You notice that everyone's idea of the opposite of peace is slightly different. Now, it's got to make you think that when we say we want to be at peace, are we all talking about the same thing? You notice when we said not at peace, we're saying, interesting, angry, anxious, uneasy. What was the other one? Basically, one person said flow. I think it was earlier, we said flow. So the opposite of flow would be to be stuck, right? So all these kind of things, these states of being, reveal where we are in our lives. And we just, and so clients would say to me, I just want to be happy. And you're like, okay, well, what is happiness? What is that? Is it giggly, laughy, jokey, excited about everything? Or is it something else? Is it contentment that's mixed with it? So, when I see the color blue, are you seeing the same blue that I'm seeing? Did you think about that? When I say the sky is blue, right? Am I seeing the same blue that you're seeing? Does anyone know? We have this universal understanding of the color blue, but am I seeing the same blue that you're seeing? Think about this. This thing just blew me away when I thought about it. Your mother's smell. All of you have mothers, so you can't deny that. So your mother's smell. When you smell your mother, is that the same smell that your father is smelling when he smells your mom? It's the same smell. Smell is smell, right? I smell like this. But is she smelling, or is he smelling what you're smelling? Which is really interesting, right? So you can see how moms smell. My kids, when they have mom around, they smell mom, and they take a scarf, and my wife used to wrap the child around with the scarf around, or let it sleep with it, because the child would feel very safe, because smelling mom was safety, mom was home. And when I smell mom, it's a very different thing. It's attraction. It's a woman that I love, and I don't feel at comfort and ease. I feel, I just want to spend time with you. So, yet it's the same smell. Or is it? And so when you smell the rose, and I smell the rose, are we smelling the same rose? Oh, so when I'm angry, and you're angry, are we really the same type of anger? Like I would say, I'm really angry, and my friend would say, you're going to end up getting a heart attack. And I'm like, no, when I get angry, and within 3 seconds, I'm unangry, right? But for some people, when they get angry, the reason I want you to become aware of this is that all of you on the group, okay, because I had this realization, and Lizanne, we spoke recently, and a few other people as well, we're all trying to improve the way that we are. We are all striving to become the best versions of ourselves. We're all trying to feel more happy, more joyful, more at peace, more content. But I got news for you. Nobody here will know ultimately whether you've achieved that state or not. So it's a delusion. This whole thing of I am on this path. Good thing, Ashfaq, you came in the right time, because I was actually, I was referencing something that you could really benefit from. Welcome, Ashfaq. So Ashfaq just appeared out of the blue as I said that. That's when I know, like Lizanne and I were talking, and I said, God is with you at every stage. And the door just flung open, and I said, what is that? And she just went, you just said that, and the door flung open. And I'm just talking about this, and pop comes Ashfaq. So it's like, wow, okay. So there's really this resonance in the world that's wonderful, because that's I always notice like certain times, like 11:11 pop up, or these type of synchronicities, and because we can't see God or the divine or consciousness or whatever in the flesh in front of us, because that would be pointless, right? Because that's the thing, we'd be like, we're all trying to figure out if God exists or not. If God had to appear in front of us, we'd be like, so what's the point of this whole thing now? Because I already can see you, and you can see me, and I know exactly what is going to happen now, and we're going to meet up after life is taken out of me. So the whole mystery is unraveled. And so although we're seeking to see God and feel God, the game is given away. And of course, if you don't believe in God, then you believe in something else that's out there that's guiding us. So we all want joy, So I was telling my children, I said, imagine every day you'd have to eat lobsters, caviar. Many of us are fasting right now, so the descriptions will probably create a kind of, all these yummy foods all the time, right? Every day. Would you still feel that way about those foods after a month? And my 9-year-old said, absolutely. She's like, we could eat that food every day. But, the elder kid said, yeah, it'll be a little dry. So this illusion of happiness and joy is a fantasy. It's a fantasy that can never be achieved. Now, what does that mean? Should we just accept life as it is and just be gloomy and, let life, we can deteriorate in life? No, because a lot of people, when you say the word acceptance, their mind said, so I should just tolerate all this shit in my life right now and let people just walk all over me and do whatever they want because I must just accept now. It's this kind of like victim mindset talking. But good, Anissa, I see you nodding your head quite aggressively there. So maybe you want to give me the answer to that question there, because you're really passionate about that. So what is, and some of my beautiful people that have been on the coaching with me directly know this. So maybe someone can give me a spectacular definition, not to put any pressure on you, of what is the meaning of acceptance. Anissa, you can have a go. I didn't hear you. Yeah, the two of you are like, so is acceptance surrender? Is that what it is? What is surrender? It's waving the white flag, right? I surrender. Take me back. I give up. I quit. That's what it sounds like to me. Because I tell a client, you should just accept. And you go, why should I accept? They should accept. Allowing, yeah. It's all very passive. What people don't realize that acceptance is an active doing thing. Allowing, creating space. Yeah. Ashfaq, yes. But when I say I surrender or I accept, remember when the parties are at war and you're going out and the army is at war and he says, okay, wave the white flag, we surrender. Does that mean the army has given up and is never going to return again? No. What the army does is it surrenders to gather the troops, get more food and water, heal the wounded, but tomorrow they're going to come kick your ass, right? So that is what the definition of acceptance and surrender is. It's saying, right now, I can't deal with this right now because I'm not strong enough. So when you have conflict and someone tells you, yes, replenishing within, Lizanne. So if someone comes up to you and tells you something you don't like to hear, you say, whoa, all right, I accept. Now, you can go withdraw and then you can come back and attack stronger if you believe that is a justified action. Or because you accept and surrender, you can now view it from back home. So from the base, you can say, okay, well, there was archers up on the mountain. There was guys with the machine guns over there, tanks over there. What were we doing there? So in other words, do I really need to be offended by what these people are saying? So it means that you have a chance to come back tomorrow and reevaluate. Whether you want to attack, go ahead and then demolish the enemy. right? Anissa? Yes, 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 yes. But non-attachment is not a doing word, you know. Yeah, my brain is like a 6-year-old. I don't know what non-attachment is. Observe, get some perspective. So what's a simpler word? Anissa, your wonderful daughter that taught us that wonderful lesson about, what was she teaching us about? Gratitude. She was teaching us about gratitude, your wonderful daughter. So how would you explain to your daughter what is non-attachment? No, no. Now I know you get it, but now you're going to have to answer, because we've done this. We've done this practice before. All right. So, but being grateful for it, for whatever that is, not being, not being attached. What's another word for being attached? No, attachment with detachment, but actually that's even more complex. We're trying to think like a 6-year-old here. These terms take us away from the essence, right? So imagine you explain this to the 6-year-old. This is really important, so I'm glad you brought that up. So imagine you go into the shop and the child says, like they did today, we want this bunk bed, very fancy bunk bed, because there are 2 of them, One has to sleep on a double bed and the other one a single bed. I said, but why? I said, no, because I like the space and it's fine, it's fine if I sleep on the top. And I went, so now let's look at non-attachment here. So how would you explain saying, look, kids, it's a nice bed, but this other bed is fine too. And they're crying and they're performing and I want that bed, I don't care how much it costs. And now go and explain to the child to not get too attached to that bed. Just a bed, right? Denise got unattached from the call and she just left. No, I'm just joking, she'll be back. So Anissa, do you get what I'm saying? This is really important, this children kind of thing. So how about this? Denise, are you back? I thought detachment, letting go. Yeah, but non-attachment, is that the same as detachment, Alia? See all these terms. You see, Anissa, see what we're doing right here. See, this is the whole thing. But it's a good one because, in fact, it's Buddhism 101. It's Zen 101, which is that, engage in the life, in the world, but don't become attached to it. So it's very much, the reason why I'm harping on it is not to give you a hard time, is that because this is taking me to exactly to the next point. On any bed, you'll sleep. Yeah, but the child doesn't know that, and you wouldn't sleep on just any bed, and you wouldn't just eat any food, right? So you do want that particular bed. But so non-attachment in another way to a child, if we can get it, I'm still waiting for a perfect explanation of what that is. Okay, yeah, well, go ahead. It's about being, but not having any expectations. Yes, non-attachment is not having expectations. So the nature of life is that whatever is born must die, right? So everything that is yours will not be yours forever, right? So if you think that this bed is going to be with you forever, then you haven't understood life. So the idea is, and add on to this, or simplify it even more for me, I'm talking to a 6-year-old here, right? Is to enjoy what you have, but not feel like it's going to be there forever. Because attachment is the belief, what emotion are we attaching? Is that this will always be like this. I'll always want to be happy. I always will always be, and I will always love you till the day I die, right? All of you. But just don't piss me off, right? Because it's conditional, right? Because that's how we love, right? I'll love you till the end of the world, and then but you didn't pay for my manicure last week, right? And now you want me but didn't you say you'd love me till that day I die? Yeah, but not without the manicure, because my nails got to be done properly, right? So then it's really not I will love you till death do us part. It will be I will love you until it serves me and suits me. And it's guys and it's girls and it's all the rest of it. So I'm not being sexist in here. So my daughter said to me yesterday, that statement's very judgmental. And I said to her, because now she's going to a private school, the la-di-da school. So she says, so the private school girls are saying, but that's very judgmental. And I said, yes, I really enjoy judging people. It gives me such joy, And she says, but that's not nice. And I said, yes, it's not nice, and I'm okay with it, And so we have a lot of fun. And so today we went for a long walk up the mountain, and it's that, like, so what if you judge people? Yeah, I judge people, all right? So, what are you going to do? Put me on the, roast me at the stake and burn me to death because I have an opinion different to yours? It's not, we're all trying to be these nice people and trying to fit into society and say the right thing and do the right thing. You're just making life hell. Just walk out of the door saying, I'm going to be hated. People are not going to like me. And you know what? It's not going to bother me. And then my daughter said, what happens if they say something judgmental to you? And that's the proof of the pudding. Can you take it as much as you can say it? Right? So if I say to you, yeah, I think, cows are cute. So there's a statement like that. And then they could say back to you, well, if you think cows are cute, then maybe you're like that. And I've got to say, well, maybe I am. So that's part of dishing it out, is being able to receive it as well. Non-attachment is, so the context, does anyone have a better description before I move on to what I want to actually get to about coaching, about happiness, and about all the rest of it? So we all want to be happy, we all want to be content, we all want to be thriving, we all want to be growing, and we all want proof that we're doing better than yesterday, correct? We want to know that we are making progress on this path of life. That yesterday we were not happy, today we're happy, tomorrow we're happy again, which means I'm making progress. And then day 4, I'm sad again. So that's 2 days happy, 2 days sad. It's a checkmate. I'm not making any progress. I think I need a new coach, right? Because you're supposed to be happier, right? And then you call the coach and say, you know what? I did the 21-day program, the 27-day masterclass, and I got coaching with you. And I still feel horrible. Like, how much more do I need to spend? Lizanne, we had this conversation. How much more money do I need to spend to get happiness? Zahira's been with me for 2 years now. She's like, I still can't get happy. This whole thing's a fraud, right? Because, what did I sign up for here? So then this thing about happiness that we're all trying to find, this elusive happiness, why can't we find it? It must be so easy to find. It must be right in front of us, but should we be looking for it though? Should we be looking for happiness? Or something else? Anybody know? Why can't we find happiness, and should we be looking for it? Anybody want to comment, write it in the text, whatever you'd like to say. What's going on here? Why can't we find it? Should we be looking for it? Anyone? Why can't we find happiness? Should we be looking for it? Where is happiness? Where do you find happiness? Is it in the child's eyes? Is it in mom's eyes? Is it in birth? Is it in death? Is it in health? Is it in sickness? Or is it actually nowhere to be found? So we shouldn't be looking for it. Anissa, did you say something? I think you typed something. I missed it. Now, it's not a thing you find. It is an experience of being, because we are not feeling it from within ourselves. Yeah, all of it is very valid points. All of you are absolutely correct in what you're saying. So for me, happiness is a state of the brain. The brain. How do you know if you're happy? If I say happiness is something you allow yourself to feel in the moment. Yeah, but happiness is not real. My whole point, heart-brain coherence, yeah, that's probably getting more to it. So what is happiness? Could someone tell me the definition of happiness? What is happiness? Smiling. Welcome, Imamul Haq. Yes, it's a state. So, where do you experience happiness? Could you show me what does happiness look like? Like, that's happiness? My wife says I've got a terrible fake smile because You feel good, but what is good? Oh, good question. Now, don't ask me a question with a question shade. You're not helping at all here, feeling joy and bliss, whole vibration upliftment. Wow, Alia. You are the terms expert. Alia is like, Alia and Anissa and Lizanne, you guys got to have a coffee together, because I tell you, you guys are all, you're just incredible mind structuralist, incredible, very powerful. We need that. That's why she's managing my media campaign, because she's so good at all that structure. So you notice we use the joy earlier to describe the word happiness. Do you think a child happiness is accepting the moment as it presents itself? Actually, that's pretty close. Well said, Fatima. So happiness. Okay. The good way to describe this is to understand this is you have happiness and joy. Okay? Can you tell me the difference between happiness and joy? And that will tell you what I'm hinting at. What's happiness? What's joy? Where does happiness arise from? Where does joy arise from? Anyone? Where is happiness? If I say I'm feeling happy, where do you think the thought? Lizanne, do you want to say something? Happy. You said it beautifully, Ashfaq. Well done, wherever you are. I can't see you. Oh, there you are. You moved to my top left. Yes, Ashfaq. You said it beautifully. Can you repeat that? Because it's gone now, but you said it perfectly. What did you say? Right. Joy is in our hearts. Joy is felt in life, right? Happiness is perceived and understood. And that's why you can never achieve happiness. And that's why there's been 100,000 titles every year, The Art of Happiness, The Key to Happiness. And I'm telling you right now, don't go buy another book on it, because there's no such thing as happiness. It doesn't exist. It exists in the mind, right? Because then I would ask you a question and say, tell me, are you happy? And you'd go, now, what are you evaluating to come up with the answer? The house is paid off. I have food to eat. The dogs are fed. The baby is dressed. Yes. Yes. Happy, for sure. And then, if I ask you that question, dogs are not fed. Baby screaming. Your hair looks terrible. Whatever it is. Then you'd be like, no, I don't think I'm happy today. No, today, not happy. And then you evaluate life like this, Yesterday I was so happy. And then today I got angry. And tomorrow something else came up. Can you understand that you're going to spend all your life chasing after something that is not achievable? And all of you have said it and concluded this and added on to this thing, is that you can't find happiness because it doesn't exist. Number two, the only place that joy, any emotion, the way to understand if the emotion is real or not is ask a child. Ask a child, do you feel happy right now? Oh, there you go, Alia. How do you know a child is happy and how do you know the child is joyful? Oh, timing. Today is like synchronicity. I just said child and Alia is just mentioning the thing. So yes, if you want to find out if an emotion that you're experiencing is real or not, ask a child. Excuse me, child, do you feel joyful? What would the child respond to that? He would say, what is that? Right? And this is the ultimate Zen teaching, and what really resonated with me about the teachings of Zen is that if you use a word to describe what you're feeling, you're no longer feeling that. Because a word is a label to what reality is. It's not it. Because how do I know this? Is this some kind of great philosophical deduction? No. Ask a child. Do you feel happy, child? The child will only know what happiness is if you tell it what happiness is. So you'd say, oh, you're eating that burger. Do you feel happy? And the child would go, oh yes, that's what it must be, because look, mom is smiling, which means that's what happiness is, right? But a child doesn't know what joy is, doesn't know what bliss is, doesn't know what non-attachment, non-detachment, co-detachment, codependent, non-dependent. all this kind of stuff. It doesn't know all of this. All it knows is, ha ha ha. That's it. That's it. Like, I want more sweets. Yes. Just leave all these words alone. Right? And that's what happiness, joy, and all of the rest of these things that we're trying to achieve, they don't have names to them. So when we say, I don't know why I'm not getting happy, let me get my gratitude journal out and get me in a great frame of mind. Yes, language dampens the meaning, yeah, and it changes everything that what truly is. So, rewinding again. When we are on the path, whether you're coaching with me or whether you're reading a self-help book, your purpose of reading this book, joining the coaching program, joining the Zen family, all the rest of it is to feel more joy with life, I'm assuming, generally speaking. I know when I went on a mission to go on a coaching journey of my own with my coach, I wanted to find out how to find more joy in life. But then a point came where I was saying, I don't think this is working. And that's where a lot of you are at. And that's why it's so important I wanted to have this conversation with you, is that you're never going to achieve something through your mind, right? So also, when you recognize as an adult that everything is disappearing right in front of your eyes, you're not going to try to cling to something that is already gone. You were joyful. Look at a child. She eats the sweets, or he eats the sweets, and now you say to her, go and clean up the mess. And she starts screaming and crying. So what happened to that happiness? Because you say, I just want to make my children happy, right? A lot of people are like, I just want to spend time with my children, make them happy, which is such a bunch of crap. If that's why you spend time with your children, right? It's not useful at all. You're not there to make them happy at all. So when you say, you see the child, 1 minute it's, his face is stuffed with all these jelly tots and she's just loving it. And the next moment, the neighbor comes over and steals the jelly tots, and that moment has gone entirely. But what we do then is we cling on to it in our minds. A child doesn't do this. A child just says, okay, I'll cry right now, and it moves on to something else. We say, wow, it was terrible what happened yesterday, I got my sweets were stolen from me, and then the next day goes past, and after 15 years, you're like, you need therapy. It's like, it was 15 years ago when someone stole my sweets. I was having such a good time. Now I need 15 years of therapy, because we keep this in our mind, and then we go on these wonderful journeys. I want to go on the happy journey. I want to take this, and I want to drink this, and I want to do this, listen to music or whatever it is. And then it's back to this usual state, this fleeting state. So, happiness, scratch out of the vocabulary as far as I'm concerned. Joy, yes, right now, I feel joyful. I look at your faces. There's joy in your faces. All right? How long will this last? We don't know. But right now, Zaira's smile is beautiful. I love seeing Zaira's smile. She's glowing over there in the corner. And the light is coming in like, she's one of those angels who just like descended on the screen. She hates the attention. That's why I'm giving her the attention. The coach always does the thing that people don't like. So then we have happiness, we have joy for this moment. And if you can recognize that these states are temporary, you're free. If you can recognize that joy is going to arise and it's going to be gone. And then what's going to come in? Anxiety in you. It's going to hold you down and suffocate you and strangle you. And it's gone. If you can absorb life in this particular way or interact with life in this particular way, you're free. You're not trying to grasp onto happiness, the real feeling, being free. Yeah, because ultimately you're free. You're free of what, Lisa? Free of what? You use the word free, but free of what? Free of expectations. Yes? Right. So you're free in a way to see what comes in the moment. You're not waiting for something outside of you to make you feel a certain way. Because that's what we do. We outsource our emotions and we say, tell me, do I look nice in the red dress? And someone says, oh, you look lovely. And then you're like, oh, I feel so happy. And then you ask another person and she goes, no, I think you look better with blue. And you're like, really? I'm so sad, right? And it's a dumb example, but it's all right. But so we're outsourcing our emotions all the time to people, right? And the worst part is we're outsourcing it to ourselves. Ashfaq, can relate to this? I don't know why. I'm just not feeling happy. I'm anxious, right, Ashfaq? So even before anybody else appeared on the scenes, right? Because we are our worst enemies, right? And our brains does not tell us how far we've gotten. So I'm going to tell whoever's on the call, every one of you, you have improved 100% from last week's call. Now, how do I know this without any proof? The fact that you made the effort, that you came on the call, that you want to improve yourself, you are now in a category of people that is so much different. Like my wife was saying to me, she said, these people that come on these calls, that join the groups, that sign up for the coaching, there's something amazing about them that they want to change. Most people, if you go look at your immediate friends and you tell them, look, go read this book, join the Qigong program, come on the 21-day free challenge, they'll be like, yeah, not right now. The child is not well, and the job is taking, and I'm moving house, and I've got to mow the lawn, and paint the walls, and there's always something that comes up, right? How many people go, you know what? Let's go do it. I'm ready. No, because we're always sabotaging our brain. So you've got to remember how extraordinary you are to go and take time out from your day and say, maybe this guy, maybe he says something interesting, and maybe if he says something interesting, it'll benefit me, and I'll feel better, and I'll improve. So I got one client, all he wants to do is feel better, feel better. So I said to him, how was the course? I feel much better. How did you feel after listening to music? I feel much better. So I said to him, what is your state of being before you needed to feel better? Think about it. I need to feel better all the time. So what are you feeling before you need to feel better? Lizanne, you put your mic on. Oh, that's all right. So when we need to feel better, we did this exercise really nicely, and we described what the opposite of contentment was. Now tell me, what's the opposite of feeling better? No, yeah, fine. But what's the opposite? I agree with you, coach. You got the answer. I know you got the answer. It's good. But my question, what I want to do is go around the room and see how different we are, right? What's the opposite of feeling better? Ashfaq, go ahead. What's the opposite? One word. Anyone else? Type it in. Quick. Terrible? Terrible? What's the opposite of feeling better? Complaining? Good. Denise, one word. Great. There's no right answer here. Anyone else? What's the opposite of feeling better? Sad. Feeling sad. Anxiety. Feeling the same. Feeling the same, Shayla. What does that mean? Bad. None of you said the same thing. Bored. Look at that. That's what I love about the groups, right? Because we all think, oh yeah, I know, everybody. Well, feeling very sad. Okay, so Zara said sad? Yes. How interesting is that response? I love it. Can you guys recognize that everybody that wants to feel better is actually feeling something totally different? We all want to feel better, but better from what? And that's what my client was saying. So many different lenses. Yes, exactly. And he said, so my client was saying I need to feel better. I said, feel better from what? Right? Because, so to him, his general state, and the thing that you mentioned is the state that bothers you most. So whatever you said, pause on that, reflect on it. Feeling stuck, Ashfaq, great. And that's recognizing yourself. So when I no longer feel stuck, I feel better. You got to recognize the folly of what your mind feeds you. It's absolute rubbish, right? So I'm feeling sad right now. Denise, your microphone is on. Okay. So we're all trying to feel better all the time from something that's making us feel sad, anxious, stuck. What was the other ones? All these types of things. So, but it's all an illusion. All of it. Being happy, feeling better, all of these kind of things. It's because we're trying to grasp onto, I want to stop feeling stuck. I want to stop feeling anxious. I want to stop feeling whatever it is. Sad. Sad was a big one. Sad is huge. In my coaching, people are afraid of becoming sad. People are terrified. What happens if I become sad? What would happen to you if you were sad? Is it that terrifying? People are so terrified. What happens if I was sad all my life? What does it mean to be sad? Why is it so terrible to be sad? What makes you sad? It's not so bad. I don't mind being sad. Why are we trying to all be happy all the time? It's depressing. Well, if you interpret it that way, it can be depressing. But I see children, the depression could lead to more. Yeah, so that's right. That's a good one. That's a good one. That reveals the patterns. So to me, and that's what Lisanne is saying, or maybe one of her clients, because you do this for a living as well. Not be sad. I mean, it's like I'm professional at being sad. I do this for a living. No, it's not that, but into therapy, right? So the thing is, if you're sad for too long, you could become depressed and anxious, and the worst thing could happen to you. What would happen, Zara? What's the worst thing that could happen if you're sad for too long? Yeah, please do. Yeah. Ah. Wow. I told you there's a coach in the making there. Guys, wasn't that spectacular? You remember Zahira, the one that couldn't even turn her camera on? Huh? I mean, give us some credit. That was magical. She just summarized everything I was going to say. Come on, give us some good feedback there, guys. Type it in there. No, you've come so long. You've come so far, Zahira. It's been such an honor to have you on this journey with us. You're a shining star. You're a shining star. All of you are. She's rocking it, absolutely rocking it. And you, this family of ours is so special. Every time I talk to all of you, I'm just like, no, I just love the personalities and the people that the universe has aligned us with. Wow, all of you are just incredible human beings, every one of you. Sarah, you just summarized everything, in fact, but you gave the game away because I have to make them struggle and fight for it, You made it too easy for them, but it's okay. We're getting to the end of the call, so it was about time someone had to give the game away. And the game is that all these emotions are fleeting emotions. Wow, look at that, Zara. Everybody's been giving you the compliment. So there's the coach. The coach, I'm waiting for you to rise. Why did you disappear? You just went off the camera after all of that. Come back here. So it's all fleeting, guys. Give it up. Give up the fight. Accept what it is and go with the day. I love that. You feeling sad? Okay, I'm sad. We don't have to say, oh my God, if I'm sad, I become depressed and I may stab myself in the eyeball, then I will go yell at the children and, I won't do the cooking and the shopping will be out of it and then I won't go to work and don't do all of that stuff. Just say, I'm sad. I want to be sad and I'm going to enjoy being sad. And it's the same with happiness. It's like, yeah, I'm happy. We don't say, I'm happy. Past patterns can disrupt the moment. Having the courage to be vulnerable. It takes courage to be happy. You said it well. Yes, it's okay, Priyakshi. Precisely. It's like, I'm happy? Yes. And this is not going to stay. But right now I'm happy because then the worst thing, this is what happens, right? I'm so happy today. I hope nobody comes and ruins my day. And guess what happens? 5 minutes later, the phone rings and it's the landlord. It's the guy you never wanted to speak to, whatever. Right? And you're like, shit, just can't I have peace for just one day? Right? That's what we do. Because what we do is we're trying to hold on to something that is impossible to hold on to. Now that we're mature and we're grown up and we have this rational reasoning mind, we can use this in our favor and say, we know just as happiness is passing, sadness is passing, anxiety is passing, but I am the one witnessing all of these emotions sailing by, So the baby smiles, so cute, I'm happy, right? The baby poos on the couch, you're like, oh God, I'm angry, right? For that moment. But you're the one witnessing. You're the one witnessing. You're seeing, yes, Fatima, enjoy the journey, not the destination, right? You're the one witnessing life as it happens. Like you could say, look how happy I am right now. So you're not saying, I'm happy, I'm sad. You're saying, look how sad I feel right now. You're disconnecting from the thing is that I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm miserable. It's not you that's miserable. You're the one feeling that way. You're the one witnessing yourself feeling that way. Yes? You get that? Any questions?